Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 29th. We're going to jump right in here. You have this promoter card. It says, a new idea project has great potential for success. You have this stability card. It says you will be very stable and very prosperous. So love it. If you're thinking about starting anything new, Libra, looks like a really good time. I mean, you and your opposite sign, Aries. Aries always shows up in your readings. And I'm always like, I think that the two of you have a lot of there's a lot of potential energy, I would call it, in your chart. So if you're thinking about doing anything, I think whatever you're thinking about has a lot of potential. So definitely a good time for you to, get to work on your projects, ideas, plans, goals, wishes, dreams, all that other stuff, right? You start off with the High Priestess, the Five of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. The High Priestess is the card of potential. She's actually the card of unlimited potential, and I'll show you that. I'll show you why in just a minute. I will also tell you that I get this feeling of like making some sort of kind of like sacrifice, and there are these pomegranates that are behind her on the tapestry behind her. Like I said, I'll show you in just a second, but the pomegranates are the fruit of the underworld, and it is popping into my head that for some of you that there could be, and you have the Death card here, you have the Ten of Swords here, so there's definitely some sort of like sacrifice that you could be making, and this is not, I want to stress that this is not like, oh, this is a sacrifice, like you're going to be, sacrificing a cow or something like that, right? We're talking about maybe you releasing something like watching TV, like that type of sacrifice, or you're sacrificing maybe a little bit of extra time, so you have the time to work on the things that you want to work on. But she has these pomegranates here. There are also these date palms right next to it. And sorry, I'm trying to learn this new camera, and it's a fixed focus. I'm trying to figure out where I need to hold it, so bear with me, but I'm practicing. Anyway, the date palms, dates in the palm trees in the tarot they kind of represent survivor energy, or something that can survive, like the desert. Dates grow in the desert, right? And so there's something about that. It's, I never talk about this, but it's popping into my head for you. Like the tapestry behind her is very important in your reading, Libra. So again, there might be certain sacrifices that you're making at this time, but we're talking, like I said, we're talking about sacrificing, things that are a waste of time, like TV or, something like that. And it's so that you can reach your full potential. She has no roof over her head here. And the no roof above the High Priestess's head, it represents the fact that whatever she sets her mind to, she can accomplish it. Also, on top of that, she has these 3 stages of the moon right above my finger there on her crown. And the 3 stages of the moon on her card represents the fact that she sees the beginning, middle, and end of whatever it is she's working on as she wants it to go. That does not necessarily mean she is seeing the future. She is visualizing how she wants something to turn out. And so whatever you're building here, I'll actually go here to the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is like building, leaving a legacy. it's building something permanent in your life. So if you're building something important, this is basically saying use your powers of visualization to visualize, how you want it to go. And that's what I feel like she's saying in your reading. There you go. You have the Five of Wands. I do feel like there is a lot of competition, maybe for something that you want to work on. But as I always say, it doesn't matter if there's a billion people doing something. I truly believe if something's for you, it's for you. And it doesn't matter how much competition there is. And no one can do something like you can, So I feel that it's time to get to work. You also have the King of Pentacles. Again, I do feel Libra is kind of very focused on building something permanent in their life. And we go up here from him to the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is, I kind of look at him sometimes, not necessarily as a person, although it could be, and we'll talk about that, but, I look at him as an establishment, like you're trying to establish something in your life, and you literally have this stability card at the top of your row, and that stability card is all about establishing something in your life, something that can grow for a very long period of time. Now, if you want love, the King of Pentacles also, could be a person who wants to build something for a long time. Let's see. With the High Priestess, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is like turning one thing into another. Temperance basically says if one way to do something doesn't work, try something else. This right here is the path to glory with this glowing crown in the background. And that, it kind of says that the Temperance angel here needs to get off on this path and needs to start his journey to the path to glory. Like he has everything he needs, but maybe he's trying to perfect things a little bit too much. And I do feel that this part kind of like right here, is maybe what you are sacrificing is perfection, right? The need for things to be perfect, because things are never perfect, right? It's kind of funny because I was teaching a class the other day, and someone, we were talking about YouTube, and someone said to me that, they want to start a YouTube channel, but they didn't want to put out crappy videos up front because they said, they felt like if they put bad videos out, that it would be a reflection on them. And I'm like, well, no matter how perfect you try to be, your first videos are going to suck. Go look at my first videos. I have major resting bitch face. I was born with resting bitch face, right? I fell on my head when I was 10 years old. It also did something to my face when that happened as well, right? Not just my brain. But also, it's like things are. It's like the first thing you do is never going to be perfect. And again, this isn't school. Like I blame teachers, although I love teachers, but I blame school for making it think like there's some sort of test that you have to pass, right? But it's like people don't believe perfect in the first place. So it's like even if you were to create the perfect video, people would be like, they would feel weird about it because it was perfect, right? So I kind of feel this part of the reading here, actually the whole entire top row, it's basically saying, it's time to get messy, right? Here you go with the Five of Wands. You show up, justice, basically you showing up in a very strong position. I think that it's saying if something's for you, it's for you. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Wands. I kind of like this. Personally, the Ace of Wands is my favorite card in the tarot because I think it's just that one thing that people need to get started. It's that like spark of life, that spark of hope, that initial spark of inspiration. It's also out with the old, in with the new. So again, more kind of like symbolism here of needing to sacrifice something or needing to release something. And so I feel if you could release something in your life that has been holding you back, or the need for perfection, that would be a good idea. But I also look at the Ace of Wands as like a fire. It's like, the Ace of Wands, for example, let's just say love. In love can represent a fly-by-night relationship. It can represent something that starts hot and then fizzles out, right? But in life in general, it can represent something that we work on, that where we need to like build that fire. It's just the spark, right? We need to put more wood and gasoline and whatever else you put on fires, right? To kind of like build the desire to work on something and to make something more and to make it permanent. So to me, I feel like this is saying like you're getting that initial spark this week, but it's up to you to make sure that you have, dry, good burning wood that you throw on it, right? Maybe some gasoline as well. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this family room card. It says private family members, comfortable matters kept secret, inner soul, intimacy. You have this timing card. It says time is important, not too late, divine timing. It's kind of, I feel like everybody has that like on edge feeling right now where they feel like something is coming or something is changing and they really don't know what to do. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think by the time we get to 2033, about 10 years from now, a little bit less, we're going to see a lot of people who realize that all they did was worry, about every little thing that happened, or all they did was worry about things that could happen when what they should have been doing is, building something. I think we're in a time of building. We're seeing a lot of things breaking. And as I will always say, I think that, we need to, instead of focusing on what's breaking, we need to start building better things in the world. Like now is our chance. No one's coming to save us, right? We have to save ourselves right now. And like the government's not going to save us or anything like that. And, what I encourage people to do is build something amazing in their life, whatever it is. It could be a garden in your backyard as long as you put your heart and soul into it. And if you do that, then you are changing the world, working with the energy. You have the Death card, the Page of Swords, and the Moon. The Death card, of course, can represent a big transformation. Funny enough, the King is dead underneath the Death Rider here on the Death card, and it kind of represents the death of establishment. And so, like I said, I think that for some of you, there's a sacrifice that's being made here. But it's not like I said, it's not like a sacrifice. It's, something that has, maybe that you've been doing in your life for a long time. Could be like a habit, goal, wish, dream, something that you've been working on that isn't working. The list goes on and on there. You're gonna have to be honest with yourself to say what it is, but whatever it is, I would let it go. You have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is a card of curiosity. I think it would be an amazing, it is a time of curiosity. Everybody gets the Page of Swords. And I would just say, if something is making you curious or something is capturing your attention and getting you excited, Ace of Wands, right? Sometimes the Ace of Wands is just like that spark of inspiration, just like a sudden insight where you feel like you need to work on something or work towards something. And that's what I would do there. You have the Moon card. The moon can represent like not seeing the future clearly or needing to see the future more clearly. And I kind of feel something about the future here. That's why I'm saying that. The other reason I'm also saying this is because we go up to the Two of Wands here. The Two of Wands, the card of foresight. It is a card of foresight. There are several in the tarot, but he is kind of looking off into the future. And the moon can basically say that we are trying to see the future, but we can't. And I blame Neptune and Pisces for this, by the way. So, the future is a little bit unclear as to where things are going. But I think that it's because it's like open-ended. We've entered into the new world, I believe. I say this all the time. And I believe that the rules have changed, but we just haven't realized that like the rules are different. And if we're like starting a business, for example, it's like what people want might be very different than what they used to want, because we're in this new world. Same thing in love. It's like what people used to want is different than what they actually want now. So, we have to, there are certain things where I think a better way to put this is it's a time of experimentation where we need to find out what works, right? With the Death card, you have the Death card. So basically the universe saying I meant what I said. Definitely a big change coming in for you. I like the Death card as well because this right here, this white rose, it kind of represents that pinprick of light in the dark. It's meant to represent, that like pinprick of light that chases away the darkness. And, this is why I encourage people to start building something, right? And to work on something, that could bring a little bit of light to the world. It's like you never know how a little thing could totally change the world. With the Page of Swords, you have another card of foresight, the Three of Wands. So definitely I think you are looking to expand. I think that you want bigger and better things with the Ten of Pentacles. I believe that we're here to grow as much as possible, whatever that means for you. So, this could be financially or whatever. And, I would just try to grow as much as possible. With the moon, you have the King of Pentacles. Crazy. This is another one of those weeks where pretty much every reading I've done, people have had a lot of repeating cards, which really does not happen that often. So repeating cards are, which you have several now, really kind of represent the universe saying I meant what I said. And I feel a lot of you, this is basically saying that you're just working on something permanent that's going to support you for a long time. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this. It's funny, you have this timing card. Then you have this time is up card. It says no second chance, no revisiting. There's something better waiting. Ten of Swords. You have the Ten of Swords, but it's coming up in the good stuff. Ten of Swords to me is always like a blessing in disguise anyway. So I feel clearly there's like some sort of blessing in disguise. You have this Phoenix rising. It says you've been through the fire. It's funny we were talking about fire and rising up anew and embracing life in a deeper way, which I think you're kind of like working on more important things in your life anyway. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is like working on everything important. We see the Tree of Life in your reading twice, actually. The High Priestess, the pomegranates behind her form the Tree of Life. Then the Ten of Pentacles, this is the Tree of Life, the 10 Pentacles. The Tree of Life is kind of like everything you want and desire in life, but it's also about, kind of being holistic, having all your, health, wealth, happiness, and relationships, having all those things kind of in a healthy state, or at least working towards that, right? I don't think life is about being perfect, I think life is about trying. It's not even about trying to be perfect, right? But it's just about trying your best, doing your best. Like one of the 4 agreements is do your best, right? It doesn't say you have to be the best. It just says you have to try to do the best that you can. And I feel sometimes that the Ten of Pentacles is saying, like, are you doing your best? Or, is there an area of your life that is lacking that could be improved? And like I said, I want to stress, this is not like about being perfect or, even trying to be perfect. It's just about saying to yourself, like, am I doing the best that I possibly can? It's like, trust me, I get tons of, whenever I talk about money, I get tons of comments of people who are like, how much do you need? And blah, blah, blah. These people are losers, right? You should make as much as you possibly can. They just print this stuff, right? And then you can do good things with it. As far as I'm concerned, everybody has the opportunity to be a billionaire, right? People do it all the time. And so again, if you truly don't want money, make the money and give it away, right? That's what I think. But I also think that we should be doing and growing as much as we possibly can. Again, I think this whole anti-money movement is just trying to keep people small, poor, in jail, in whatever the weird little prisons they want to put us in, where we eat bugs and they turn us into robots, right? And I will always fight against that. That is my purpose, right? Is to destroy the New World Order and also, that evil bastard Klaus Schwab, that robot alien Mark Zuckerberg, all those people that want us to, basically turn into Wall-E, right? Where we're floating around on wheelchairs or something. I don't know. But whatever it is, rant over. I think we can do better. I think we can live great lives and we don't have to suffer. There you go. That's my message for you today, Libra. You have the Two of Wands here. Two of Wands is about taking the lead, making things happen. I feel like you are kind of like taking the lead and making things happen with the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about seeing the future as well. And like I said, there is something here in this reading about you seeing the future. And it's like we can't really see the future, number one. Number two, the Two of Wands says you have to get out into the world and see what is possible. So I think it would be a great time for you to explore possibilities in your life. You show up again in this row as the Justice card. Again, I feel whenever we show up as ourselves, it just puts us in a position of power and strength and allows us to get what we want from the reading. So let's see what is going on here for you, Libra. And let's see. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Moon. Again, are you kidding? Like I said, I knew more cards were going to repeat in your reading. So we have the Moon twice here. The Moon says you probably have a vision. I always say the Moon exists up here. We need to bring the Moon down to Earth, the dream, whatever the dream is, right? And so I feel like there's kind of like some sort of dream life, or there are things that would make your life more perfect, right? Or would make you feel better. And I feel like the Moon is saying, go on the journey, right? There's a path straight down the middle of the Moon, and it terminates in some mountains here. Mountains do represent obstacles, but they also kind of represent achievements. So I feel that there are achievements and things that you could accomplish if you really, put the work in more or less, or really kind of, started working towards it. You cannot make this up. With the Two of Wands, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Again, you have your eye on the Ten of Pentacles. I think you have your eye on, accomplishing great things clearly in this reading. And I don't know, you feel very motivated to me. I've been feeling very motivated. Today is the end of the retrograde, thank God. So the day that I'm shooting your video here. And, even just yesterday, the day before the end of the retrograde, I felt like more motivated. And I'm not even a Libra. I have 0 Libra in my chart. And, so I've been feeling it. And I think that you could be feeling it as well. With the Justice card, you have the Lovers. Definitely could be love coming in for you. I'm pretty sure you've had Sagittarius with me before, as far as love is concerned. So it could be a Sag, could be a person with Sag in their chart, could also be a Leo, could be any sign, could be an Earth sign as well. Could be any sign, general reading. But I do feel there is a little bit of love here if you want it. So love it. Next, you have the Feeling the World card and this Open to Discovery card. I do think this Open to Discovery card and this Feeling the World card with that Two of Wands is saying that it's time, variety is the spice of life, right? It's time for you to go explore new ideas, new plans. It's time for you to go do new things with your life, because that's how we discover what's possible in life, is just by having experiences, right? It's like we experience something or we do something that maybe puts us outside of our comfort zone, and that's where real growth happens. And I also feel that's what this reading is saying, is that you need to have that type of growth, right? You have the Ten of Swords, the Strength card, and the Nine of Swords. There's some sort of blessing in disguise coming in for you. Again, coming up in the good stuff. Wouldn't even worry about it. I personally like the Ten of Swords anyway. To me, the worst card in the tarot is the Nine of Swords. Not even the Tower, right? But what I would say is the Nine of Swords is coming up in the good stuff. So I think that you are putting something to rest. And what you could be putting to rest is a round and round situation in your life. Something, that keeps repeating, that it has been holding you back. This could be a belief, could be an idea that you have, could be a bad habit, could be anything. And so anything that you can release, anything that's been holding you back, I think would be a good idea. You have the Strength card here, and the Strength card is about patience. So I feel like you have been patient to accomplish the things that you've been trying to accomplish. And it's like now you're actually starting to accomplish things. Again, I would push yourself a little bit here, but overall, I think this is just a really positive reading. And, I think there's a lot of positive changes coming in for you, Libra. Looks amazing to me. So I definitely love this for you. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands. You're never going back, right? Ten of Swords, in this other card here said something like time is up, or it said no second chances, no revisiting. Seven of Wands to me is that line in the sand where you say, I'm never going back to this thing. It's funny because I always tell this story that many years ago, I had this big business failure, like when I was younger. And, I got to the stage where I overdrafted my bank account, exactly $800, 3 times, right? And it started to become part of my story where it's I was always, overdrafting, or I was always just scraping by. The funny thing is it's I was always able to correct it, which really the evidence for myself, myself, I should have been able to say to myself, like, I can clearly make the money, but I'm just being lazy in between these times, right? I'm just being lazy when it comes to, getting above that amount, right? It almost became a comfort zone. And so eventually I had to say, like, no, enough is enough. I need to make a change to prevent this from happening, right? And I kind of feel that for you. I'm not saying you're going to overdraft your account or anything. I'm just saying, like, what parts of your story do you need to, like, draw that line in the sand with and say, no, I need to do whatever it takes to not repeat this, right? With the Strength card, you have the Seven of Cups. Variety's the spice of life. I literally said it. Seven of Cups is about being spoiled for choice, but it's also about giving yourself options. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Hermit. The Hermit is about displaying a skill. He's been through Dark Night of the Soul. He's done some soul searching, all that other stuff. But he is shining his inner light there with that. And he has a star in his lantern. But I always say, like, he needs to shine that star out all over the place. He needs to kind of, the star is something he earned because he climbed to the top of the mountain. He did the soul searching, and now he needs to share something. And again, I think on a very simple level, this reading is kind of saying that you need to show the world what you're made of. And it's kind of funny because I think I said the same thing to Aquarius. So, this could be a very air sign type of deal. You have this October card and this grasshopper. It says situation in the balance that requires careful handling. I think maybe you've been working on things since the month of October. Something happened for you in October. And, maybe it's like I kind of get this back and forth energy. I don't know how to describe this. It's like something has maybe, affected you emotionally or something like that. I get a story. Like, I'm not picking on anyone here. I want to stress that or anything like that. But it's like maybe something happened back in October that where you did things you're not proud of, or maybe you had an emotional outburst or something. I don't know. It's a very specific story. It's popping into my head. I think you're fine, number one. Number two, if that did happen, I think that maybe it was just to teach you to keep your emotions stable and wouldn't even worry about it, right? You have this finger. It says, warning you of a problem either now or in the future. I would pay attention to anything that doesn't feel right now, and I would really trust your emotions. You have the Spirit. It says, heartache over what you no longer have. Again, I would release this heartbreak. It looks to me like there's a blessing in disguise coming in for you. You have the Shield. It says you need to defend yourself. I think this is more talking about Seven of Wands boundaries. Seven of Wands is line in the sand type boundaries. The Nine of Wands is another card of boundaries, but Nine of Wands is more like defending yourself. The Seven of Wands is more just drawing a line in the sand, saying nothing can cross this boundary, right? It's a little bit different. So that's what I feel that's saying. You have this Peacock. It says, beware of great pride. I would be careful of prideful people at this time. But overall, I think this is a very good reading. I think that the blessing coming in for you is stability. So thank you. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your week.